Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
We finally made it home from BlizzCon. We survived the March of the Murlocs, delays, and late night farts. I'm Slidewhistle.
It's Immunization. Hello.
It's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horrid Punching Bag. And StarCraft 4. When's that coming? What do you think about that one?
Ba-dum-bum.
That was my go-to when we were at the Hilton post night one of BlizzCon, even post episode recording. I said, this would be so funny. I'm going to catch people with this one. And I got maybe 20% people being like, huh, that's interesting. Like, I'll think about that. And then 80% going, have a great convention. That shit went over like a lead balloon.
You have a good day now.
Like, literally, people would just be like, okay, I'm going to leave.
This exited stage left. We only saw Ian once. Did we talk about that at all?
No.
I didn't get a chance to get my hands on his cup like I did last time.
Well, yeah, because we were walking in between BlizzCon areas in a very congested hallway, and Mr. Ian Hazuko himself was passing by, and someone said, Ian, can I get a picture? And he went, okay. And then so as he went to take a picture, and he did not seem very happy, I don't know, threw a bunch of gang signs in the picture behind him. We happened to be behind him as passing by.
So the thing is, y'all happened to be. I don't know where I was that I missed the R1 Ian Hazuko sighting. I don't know.
You were there. I think you were just behind us in line, and maybe
yeah,
you
it was
didn't
just
see.
like a single file line. And I think you happened to be 4 of 4, and me and Slidewhistle, I think, were one and 2 of 4. So we just happened to be Hazuko adjacent.
It was in that tight Diablo hallway, so that's probably why you missed him, because he was like right coming out of that.
Oh, that hallway was really tight. Logistically, BlizzCon was kind of a mess, honestly.
But who cares about BlizzCon anymore? Because we got our new patch 10.2 patch name. What's it called again?
Guardians of the Dream.
Woo-woo.
And also, I had heard no one talking about it, and the actual delivery of it was not until 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm like, will we be receiving Guardians of the Dream?
Yo,
I've not confirmed.
So, Slidewhistle brought this up as a joke, but I think it might be the little bit of the truth here. So at BlizzCon, I believe we talked about how we played a demo of Guardians of the Dream, which is like stupid that they were giving us content that was coming out in like 2 weeks from then, now 1 week from now. But like the cutscenes in it just didn't have Furyk, right? So Slidewhistle said that he thought, it's taking a long time because they actually have to fix Furyk.
He was just white and blue, Gary's mod, missing asset boxes, flying in the sky at BlizzCon, and we sat here hour after hour delay. I was like, man, I actually have to like do real things instead of play WoW. Come on.
Because during the questing so far, there is a cutscene actually that he is in. So sometime between last weekend and now they fixed his model.
Yes, he cuts down, he destroys an actual primalist, which it's very funny to think that, so their gang got, let's say, like 2,000 primalists, and I think we've just been destroying them to the point that now he's only got a couple of them left, like P primalists.
I think in this case, the guy that he was feuding with was actually one of the druids of the flame, right?
Well, he was a blood elf, so I don't think he could druid. He was white. It was a white elf man, so that's not someone who can turn into a bear.
Well, they were channeling fire against the like entrance to the world tree, so I guess I just assumed.
True. I don't know, because actually,
that was Druid of the Flame. He had to be.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe they've branched out. Druid of the Flame always struck me as druids, and specifically night elves. So what was White Man Can't Jump doing over there? I guess we don't need to know because he was taken out.
Well,
Fire snapped his neck.
I also thought that it was really funny that like, because we saw this druid like 2 or 3 times, maybe in cutscenes and otherwise, so far during the questing, and like, when we were first doing this content, Slidewhistle's like, why is Furyk like taking some like taking some guff from some random dude, and then like two cutscenes later, you know.
We're thinking of two different people. You're thinking of, yes, the Druid of the Flame guy, who I believe he's the penultimate boss. I forgot his name. But yeah, he's leader of the Druid of the Flame. I'm talking about a cutscene where they're trying to break open the door and just some guy speaks up.
Oh, I thought those were the same guys, honestly.
No, they were elves. That's your problem with a group that's all elves. They all look like the same guy.
I thought they were the same guy. Are you
sure?
No,
no, because this was not an orange elf. This was a primalist because it was a blood elf man.
Well, I'm running the beginning again on my evoker, so we'll have the proof of this, whatever side it is, soon.
Yeah, I also need to do it again on my hunter too, because I'm raiding on my hunter, and I've, as always, have been doing all the content first on my priest. So yeah, I'll get a second look as well. But I guess outside of that, what do we think about the patch so far? What are our first thoughts here?
Well, you know what? It's a good thing they announced World of Warcraft: The War Within, because I don't know. Systems will fall in place.
Oh, here we go.
When the raid,
like,
well, no. Well, I'll say, when the raid comes, there will be more stuff to do. There will be more dailies, more weeklies, things like that. Right now, I don't know. It just still feels like I'm in the condiments aisle. It feels like it's Ketchup City, and it's like I kind of want to do more than just catch up right now.
I think part of it is that what is this now, like the last like several patches that they have done this like seasoned, like this tiered release of seasons, where like the first week is just like the patch, and the second week is like, the season reset with like raid and mythic plus. And I feel like when they don't release it all at once, it kind of feels like there's something missing to me, even though like I have kept myself busy. I've been like, flying around, exploring, and doing all my glyph hunting and questing. I still haven't finished all the quests yet. I'm still working on that. And I just find myself just, like, getting distracted by the zone itself. I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on, but like if you're looking for something to do and you're like not looking around or exploring, you're not gonna find it. If that makes sense. Like there's actually a fuck ton of books that I've been finding and reading about like the first tree that a loon hall. There's a weird book about like the fire druids, and I'm imagining there's a lot more books that I haven't found yet. So I've also been doing a lot of exploring around. Getting my druid travel forms, that's been a whole thing in its own. There's like a bunch of them you have to do, and some of them are like taking vials to different moon wells across Azeroth.
So yeah, these are quests that you're actually doing. Are they like exclamation point quests, or it's just personal quests?
They're not quests at all. They're just me opening a box of vials and taking these vials to moon wells. No quest. No quest for the books either. I'm just finding books.
Yeah, I found one of the books too, like the one about like the original world tree, I believe is what it was about. It was just like conveniently placed on like a table prominently displayed in the camp, and I'm like, I can click on this, and I'm like, I can take this. Now I can read this. I'm like, is this propaganda of some kind that's just being placed here? I don't know.
It feels like they were playing Baldur's Gate, and they're like, we gotta add some books in this patch. Because, like, that's kind of how they are. They're kind of just kind of strewn about, but, like, in very obvious, glowing, clicky places.
I mean, I guess if there was any place to get indoctrinated by druidism, it's literally the Emerald Dream. Like, Ysera's been putting out her chick tracts and her leaflets for all of these new folks who are coming in. Read the literature, and then make sure to wipe your feet on the moss before you pop in through the portal.
But I've been enjoying just like the side quests I've done so far. Have y'all done the one with Lady Moonberry yet?
Okay, I was like, finally, we got some people coming back, because that's one thing I also want. Like, there's so many people in Shadowlands that are just like, we're chilling, and yes, I know, like, you can't leave the Shadowlands, but I don't know, they were doing it a lot before. Why can't they do it again?
Yeah, there was a whole, and sorry, World of Warcraft, love you. There's a whole thing where it's like, if Ysera goes, I, Malfurion, must stay. No one can exist in both places. And yeah, Lady Moonberry's there. There's like like 3 other NPCs. It's like, okay. So I think we just wanted Malfurion to go away for a little bit. We just kind of wanted him to be in Leaf Jail.
Yeah, and I don't know if maybe it's just like at the end of Shadowlands, we just decided that like the mechanisms of death as they were just like, oh, we're just gonna do our own thing now, and like maybe there is no rules anymore, and maybe Malfurion just really wanted to take a long nap this time.
He was like,
yeah, Pelagos now. Maybe he wrote some new rules.
I don't know. I wonder if things between him and Tyrande are all right. Like, it's like, my love, I'll stay here for as long as you need. And then you go back and you're like, we've saved the dream. And he goes, I don't know. Did you grab all the books? Did you get all the forms? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just trying to be me right now. I'm trying to go stag. And then he turns into
Shut up.
an elk. And he's like, sure.
But the Lady Moonberry thing, I have this new headcanon, this theory. Have you noticed that whenever we meet up with her, for some reason, Spriggans are everywhere? And I'm like, okay, how are they here now, too? And I'm like, Lady Moonberry, be real with me. Are you the one releasing the Spriggans everywhere?
I would not put it past her to be like just pulling Spriggans out of her pockets and being like, go on, find this. And she's just like pickpocketing you with them the entire time or something.
I'm just going to say this with my whole chest, and I don't care if it's a threat. They can play this at court. They can play this at my trial. If Lady Moonberry specifically made the Spriggan quest where you have to do emotes for 15 minutes, It's on site. I'm running up into her house and I'm beating up her mama.
Honestly, you might be onto something. She is a sadist. Wait, sadists hurt people, right? Yes.
No, she's not a satyr. She's a fairy.
I have not done that quest yet, though. That's the one I haven't. I went the other direction with Kwanzaa and Aviana. So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet. That's one of my last ones I still need to do.
I've done them all.
And
I just got to say before we move on from Moonberry, the one thing I did enjoy was there's a part where you're dressed up and you're pretending to be Sarah, and as a goof, you give orders to the various druids that are around. And you roll up on my girl, Miss Worgen Druid, and she's got I don't know if they ran out of like the Worgen female voice lines or what. Her voice is terrible. Like you usually go up and it's like, get gabbing or get going. But you go up to this specific woman and it's like, what can I do to help the dream? And I'm like, oh my, did you get someone from the office to do that? Jesus.
Oh my god, this is just funny that you bring this up because like a few of the voice lines that have been happening, we have some new ones that like Slide and I have just been like saying to each other just because we found their delivery funny. Okay, so you know how we do some questing with Viranoth, right? And she has some of her old clutch, I believe, with her, like the claws of Viranoth or whatever.
She's got her fatal foursome.
Yeah,
it's more like a threatening threesome now.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But the first one you meet, I think his name starts with a B. I don't remember exactly what it was.
It's Burry, Burri.
Burry.
So when you like his voice line when you click on him at first, he's like he delivers it in a way that's very much so the way that we would the voice we assign to that guy in Legion that wanted to hunt demons. You click on him
from Primoth,
and then he's like, "For Viranoth."
Why does he say it like that? He's like so excited, but so not at the same time.
My man's has got the quickest hands, the flightiest wings on all the Dragon Isles, and for that they cursed him with this nerd burglar voice. Hold on, champion. I'm so sorry. When we first met, I had my retainer in, but I had my Invisalign in, but I've since removed it. For Viranoth.
You know, we've been trying to get a little work done on ourselves, but we don't want to give into the order magic, so we're trying some new things out here.
I'm just thinking of like a primal dragon comes back with braces and it's like, no, the metallurgist magic has changed you. It's straightened your fangs. I was biting into my mouth earlier. I bit off part of my tongue. Please, Viranoth, do not kick me out of the clutch.
being a dragon with braces would be so fucking hard because everyone's name has like Z's and TH's in it. So they'd be like Rethafef.
But like, just to talk of Uranoth and Rezagath and all of the dragons, like we do need to have a DNR book club about War of the Skullborn. Eventually, I've like officially started it. I'm like 6 or 7 chapters in, so like I'll be ready to talk about it soon, and I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore. Some people, okay, now this is my thing. People have been like, why is all the lore in the books? It's because if it was in the game, you wouldn't read it.
Yeah,
like,
you wouldn't sit down to hear it.
Yeah.
They can't get you to listen to goddamn cutscenes, and those things are usually like 42 seconds long.
Exactly. People like what do you want them to do? Like this is if you really cared about the lore, then you would be reading the book. Like it's just an agreed upon fact with video games and their book adaptations. Like get fucking real, idiots.
And then also, I will fully admit I wouldn't want to be there. Like we all remember way back when Before the Storm, I believe that was that one. Yeah, it was Before the Storm when Anduin put schmutz in his hair to go pick up the ladies, and then he and Jaina took a little sit at the bar. If that was in game, and then Growlina was kind of fuzzy, like in the background, I'd be like, "Why am I here? What am I doing?" Like I know people are like, "It used to be that we worked with heroes. Now we are the heroes," but that wouldn't even. Anduin wasn't even being a hero there. That's just an unnecessary scene for me to sit there at my computer and see.
It's true. I mean, I don't know. It could be a quest to put some schmutz in Anduin's hair. Let me do it, though. I want to
Can
be
you
the one
imagine
to do it.
him sitting in the castle like, people will recognize these golden locks. Please click the yellow wheel on my hair and do the casting animation on the back of my head as oil drops come off of it.
Okay, back to 10-2. Back to 10-2. So there are, maybe confusing isn't the right word, but there's quite a lot of ways to get gear from these quests. What exactly are these main ways, right? There's like a Niffin rep thing that gives you like a full rep token.
Jeez, the Niffin are there? I haven't even seen them.
Well, no. It's Niffin-esque in that it's the 1500 rep.
Oh,
thing.
Yeah. It's just
that's like just the weekly.
Yeah.
There's 2 other things that gave me gear, and they were just quests, but I'm assuming those are 3 weekly quests, or did I do something extra?
Yeah, I haven't fully wrapped my head around everything, because, like, this happens to me whenever we first start a patch or first get to an area. I have a hard time, like, I don't know if this is a me problem or if they just need to, like, work on how they display or present their quests, but, like, I'm still in the phase where I'm like trying to figure out like what's a daily, what's a weekly, what's a one-time quest thing. So
I can say that one of the major weekly, I believe, quest lines in lines with Immunization's favorite activity, the one that's really been the apple of his eye, Super Blooms.
So the thing is, okay, now that I've like played a little Super Bloom, I didn't think it was the worst thing. As far as world content goes, honestly, the way that the Emerald Dream is presenting itself so far is, I mean, maybe it's just like recency bias, just because it's new at least. I feel like this zone will be less taxing on my soul than like the last like single patch zones we've had.
No, I definitely think so, because you don't have to do this stuff if you really don't want to. I mean, like, there's a lot of cosmetics and stuff out there, but I don't know.
So have either of you participated in a Super Bloom as of yet?
Yeah, I've done, I believe 2, because like I did the first one, but then realized that I did it, the timing of like when I was able to start playing the game and when one started, and when I was just taking my time doing like the main story quest line, it didn't line up where like I hadn't quite gotten the quest yet to like do one. So, like, I did one before I was technically supposed to, and then I did another one once I got the quest to do one. So I've done 2 or maybe even 3 of them now. I think they're fine. I mean, it just is kind of whatever. It's like it really felt like it's just like you follow this guy, you kill things. It felt like a mix of all the other ones we've had this expansion, like, I'm talking like Soup or Researchers. But I also noticed, I don't know if it's a bug, but they give you a task, right? And I feel like you don't have to just do your task. You get points for doing literally anything else as well. So I'm like, is this just like a suggestion?
Yeah, I've not figured out if the task they assign you gives you some kind of bonus for doing
Well,
the task, or if you can just...
The task is based on the fruit you eat at the beginning, correct?
No. Question mark? Okay, so when you do a task, when it told me I had to collect rain for the thirsty, dry plants. Instead, I was grabbing bushes and I was pulling out the weeds and I was detangling the forest. Now, each weed I pulled still contributed to the super bloom, and it still gave me emerald dewdrops. But I wasn't doing what it was telling me to do, and I still maxed it out for the group with it.
I think that first one is just a suggestion because I've done it 3 times, and every single time it is give water to the thirsty flowers. So give water to the thirsty flowers might just be that first thing. I have yet to have a super bloom where they instruct me to do something else.
I actually don't think that I've had give water to the thirsty flowers, so...
Yeah, I think you just got some weird random draw. But, like, I've only done it twice, and both times I got thirsty flowers, so it's hard to say.
But yes, yeah, you can capture animals. You can, one of it was run through bees. Like that time.
That was my first one, run through the bees. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is easy enough. I'll just run through all the bees.
My thing with super blooms, and I don't know if this is just because it's bloated because everyone's doing them right now. I feel like I'm constantly doing something and it does nothing. Like last night I was very sleepy, but like I was kind of lazily going in and out of consciousness, running just through bees for like 15 minutes. And then I looked and it's like, we got 7% on the super meter. And I'm like,
Oh, you must have had a small shard or something then.
Yeah, because like on both times that I did it, the group, we got like the highest quality like far before like we finished the super bloom. So it must have just been like a dead chart or something that you're on, which is weird that there is one of those at this point.
Shouldn't it have boosted me?
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
the whole thing.
I was, like I said, I was going in and out of consciousness. So maybe I was just in the wrong. Maybe I was looking at the wrong meter or something.
Oh,
but
that's the thing. There's like 3 things called emerald, and they have like 3 different meters on them on the map at once.
Oh, I'm very happy about this. Give us as many currencies as possible, Blizzard. As many of all of them. I'm so happy that I have to learn what all these are.
They're all invisible, and they're actually like currency in your currency conceptual space. They're not physically in your bag, so I miss them. It's like you kicking this druid in the tushy gave you 72 dewdrops. And I'm like, okay, where are they? And it's like, tee, press C. I'm like, oh.
Okay,
I'm just
real
having
talk?
to physically hold 72 of them.
What are the dewdrops for?
Do not fret, my friends, because if you are out here also wondering what the fuck an emerald dewdrop is and how the fuck you use it in these plants that people keep talking about, I have your back. Because I had to look this up, and it took me like 45 minutes to find something explaining what to do with these or how they worked.
So
You didn't just put them in
does this have to
plants?
do with like the conservatory type deal that's over on the north side of the map?
Yes, Aaron, you do just put them in plants. But Aaron, answer me this. So you see a plant, right? Somebody's put a seed in, and there's 1 out of 100 dewdrops. What does this mean for you?
1 out of 100 dewdrops, so I could either use low form drops to enhance, to get it to 100 to the next, to like max out, or I can put in one of my higher level seeds to increase the level of the flower before it blooms.
What happens if you put in 50 dewdrops instead of a max dewdrops?
Like if we only get it to 50% this flower, I imagine you just get fewer rewards. You're using dewdrops to get it to 100%, and then you're using your seeds to make the flower better.
But if you put 100% dewdrops in there, can somebody else use it to put their dewdrops in?
I actually do not know. There you go. You checkmated me. I thought I was the shaman king.
I don't
but
know
you're-
the answer to this either.
Oh,
That's something I
you
still don't
were
know the answer
honestly
to.
asking. I actually don't know. Yeah, because I've thrown dewdrops into one that's 100%, and then it didn't seem like it did anything, but also the patch is a big old 2 days old, so maybe it did.
So, it costs 5 instead of 1, and that's what I don't get. Why is it just 1? Why is it 5 dewdrops? Like, it's already weird because they're giving you a lot of them. So, when someone has a seed in, the thing is going, the plant is cooking. You can contribute dewdrops, like Aaron said. There's 3 different levels to contribute to. Don't feel like you have to dump in all 100 at once, because dewdrops can be limited, and maybe somebody else wants to hop in, and somebody else might pay the ticket for you, basically. I think you have to put in at least 5 dewdrops, which is 1 button click, to be a part of the seed frenzy, basically. At 1 to 49, it's a small emerald bloom with a minimal chance of getting a mount. At 50 to 99, which is so stupid, you get a medium emerald bloom, and you have a very small chance of getting the mount. And if you get to 100, you get a large emerald bloom and a small chance at the mount. What are these percentages that we're using? This is Evoker Legendary shit for the mounts.
Wait. So you're telling me that this is like a communal farm space that like we all
Yes.
contribute to all the time? So my only experience with it so far is I did the initial quests where basically they like introduced you to all of them, and then they were like, hey, look at this one. You see this green one? This means that it's common rewards. You see this blue one? That means that there's some rare rewards from that one. You see this purple one? You'll never ever guess it. You'll never in a million years guess that this is some epic rewards. And I'm like, do we really have to do like 5 quests to tell me that like it's the same scale, just color based as literally everything else in literally every game ever to exist?
They really wanted to hammer it home. Also, I guess Dream Seeds are broken for a while. We missed this boat, guys. We could have farmed infinite rep to already be max level with the Dream Wardens.
Yeah,
if
I
we were
woke up this
using
morning and it's like I saw like 3 Wowhead articles that are like Blizzard fixes infinite rep boost. And I'm like, aw, beans. I would have loved to have been infinite, but I was too lazy. I literally fell asleep at a super bloom last night. Cubby Bub had to pilot my character to a good night zone and go, it's time to go to bed. Because
Your rewards.
I was subconsciously just spamming 1 and 2 as I was sleeping at my computer on Booty ATW.
Oh my god. Aaron's becoming a real life druid. It's happening. You're sleeping in the Emerald Dream? Like, dude, like you're being converted.
I did a /sleep IRL, and then my green spiritual form went and made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in my kitchen.
But, okay, so say today earlier, I contributed 10 dewdrops to a purple plant. You following people at home? At the end of that, once that 3 minutes, oh wait, God, there's the time during it. During the 3 minutes, the plant is blooming. There's little activities you can do a la the soup community feast at Tuscara. You can pull weeds, you can stomp on bugs, you can kill flowers, and you get dewdrops from this. And then once the flower blooms and it hatched, I was able to click on it, and it gave me 500 rep because it was purple. The first 5 seeds you contribute to each week gives you a rep increase. So I believe this means you only want to contribute to purple ones first? Because purple gives more rep than blue, if my memory's correct?
Well, the system is very complicated on that one. But wait, that's weird. So, okay, I guess my follow-up question here is what's planted based on somebody actually planting one of their seeds? So, like, somebody had to have planted a common one instead of a purple one? So you can just sit there all day and just wait for other people to plant seeds and then do quests on them and get rewards without using any of your own things besides some 5 dewdrops each time?
Yes, and it has already inspired a culture of fucking crumb bummery. You will, because the map shows you, like just soil. just Queen's Conservatory soil. And so I fly over there using my Pathfinder slow flying because I just like to see my old mounts. But I fly over there and I see 3 hordes just looking at it with their dirty troll and orc eyes. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, well, I guess they're waiting for someone to start. Or maybe they're AFK. So I put down a purple. All of a sudden they're assaulting it with dew. And I'm like, you guys just wanted me to waste my purple. You crumb bombs.
Wait, so if it's your purple seed, do you also have to contribute some dewdrops, like, in order to get the rewards, or?
Yeah, well, I did, but I only got
You do not.
I only got like 10 or 15 in there, because we filled it so fast, because these guys were just sitting there like, we're waiting for a pretty person to put a good seed in.
That's probably a good thing. So, because you don't have to contribute any dewdrops to your own seed. So, in reality, you're kind of being like a sugar daddy. Or maybe they're being a sugar daddy because you're putting the seed down and they're maxing it out, and you get the rewards from both.
Ooh, well, thank you to my lumpy green and blue sugar daddies.
Thank you. There's tons of rewards. My biggest complaint, I just really feel like the names of these things are just so annoying. I'm scrolling through a Wowhead page of the Emerald Dream, right? We have the weekly quest, A Worthy Ally, Dream Wardens. No problem with that. Weekly event, Super Blooms. Okay, very unique name. Emerald Bounties and Emerald Frenzies. Alright, slow the fuck down.
So I did a frenzy earlier, I believe. It seems like it's just a sporadic event that appears in certain places, where your screen turns aggressively green. Like, you will know if you are in one. Like, your screen is mainly green. Like, greener than the green that's already there, because this entire zone is already just green. Like, you would know it's that green. And then, like, everything that you kill drops, fucking currencies. I posted about this in our Discord, which you can join by going to donotrelent.com.
Slumbering Dream Fragments?
No, okay, so during an Emerald Frenzy, you need to collect Emerald Dewdrops, so that, like, I believe the frenzies are big because they give you, like, it's like one of the main things, like, it just gives you dewdrops. It's like very heavy on giving them to you.
It's very easy to get dewdrops. You kill like a spirit wolf and he gives you like 10 of them, which you would have need to run like 3 or 4 chores during a flower to do.
Yeah, and then, like, there are some rares that spawn during this, and if you kill the rares, I think they can drop, like, some seeds as well, and, like, as well as more dewdrops, and it's, like, a fill a percentage bar, and, like, I also had a quest to fill a percentage bar for this, and, like, I think these frenzies are a little bugged right now, because, on the map itself, like, the progress bar never filled, but my quest, that was the same thing, to, like, collect X amount of Emerald Dewdrops from an Emerald Frenzy, that filled, but not, like, the bar on the map. So, it showed that I could still do the event, but it wasn't counting, you know?
It's probably busted as fuck.
The big part of Emerald Frenzy that I'd love everyone at home to know is the fact that they are, by design, about 4 minutes long. So if you are trying to get 100%, you need to bust your ass. Did it just pop up? You're good. Did you open up your map and the icon was already there? It's too late. Go do something else, old man. It's like, I landed as soon as one popped up. I waited for it and I went and it was like, go to get your 100. I was like,
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, I was just flying by, and then my screen turned green. I'm like, what is this? And I, like, opened my map to try to figure out what it was. I'm like, oh, I'm in a frenzy. I'm like, oh, there's a bar I need to fill. So then I started killing things. I killed, like, 3 things, and then they're like, sorry, bud, it's over. I'm like, what?
And when you do it, and it's over, it's not like it's like, oh, you got to 80%. When it pops up again, you'll be at 80% again. It's like, tough shit. You didn't finish it. You didn't do it, I guess. Start over.
I guess it lives up to the frenzy name.
It's going fast. It's a frenzy. I guess the plant thing is called Emerald Bounty. I didn't know it was called that. I thought that was a different thing.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I didn't know how to formal name. I just assumed we ran up on plants and we all as a community decided let's put some dew on this.
Okay, so then have you guys done a dream infusion yet?
I have done a dream infusion.
I have.
I have not.
It might be broken though.
I think it is because I also had to Google to figure out what I was doing wrong, and all the Wowhead comments already were like, "Yeah, this is busted," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess it's not just me." But like, then like, okay, so currently, how the quest worked was basically she's like, "Okay, Aaron, is this what you had to do too?" Like, the quest that she gave you was basically just summon a pet that she gave you.
Yes.
And then use the currency that she gave you to buy one of her
To
other.
buy. Well, the thing is, that's the glitch part. Is she said, introductory, you buy a pet, and I did. And then it's like, okay, use this new currency to take that pet and make it green, which I did. And then she rolled up to me, this dryad, and said, "You are doing so well. Buy the first pet again." And I said, "What?" And it's like, "Buy the first pet." And I was like, "It's not in your menu. I bought it. He's literally right here." And it's like, "We are going no further until you rebuy that pet."
Sell it back to me and buy it again.
I would be willing to spend my little goofer coins on like a 2 out of 3, but I can't. I can do nothing with this pet. So it's like, it looks like you're going to not infuse anymore, other than, so there are minor and major infusions, which they didn't tell you. And little guy, he's from a minor one, but I still can do major infusions, which just come from as you do events, quests, world quests, stuff like that. You just build up a bar, and occasionally you go to this lady and she's like, "Hey, take a pic of a pet or a mount you want."
Yeah, I feel like it was very. Okay, so I've been like actively trying to read and analyze everything that's been happening in this patch, and like, did I just miss something, or was it just like really not that clear? Because she has a bar over her that's like, 78%, and then it's like, then she just like occasionally gives you some currencies maybe, and then she just sells pets and mounts with like 2 different currencies, and I'm like, I don't know if this is just busted or like I just don't know what's happening.
Okay, so dream infusions are obtained from a hidden resource called Dream Energy, which is collected by completing activities in the Emerald Dream, such as completing quests, killing rares, finishing events in the zone. You can check with Eliana with how much Dream Energy you have gathered, or you can download this handy weak aura to have a Dream Energy bar available at all times. That's what Wildhead suggests you to do. I guess if you hover over the bar, it says, "Complete activities in the dream to harness its energy."
Well, yeah, because like the one thing she told you, she was like, we can harvest energy, and then you can ask her, you're like, "How do we harvest energy?" And then she's like, "I don't know, kill some things." I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I guess it'll just happen.
I just appreciate that she keeps it on brand. It was the Emerald Dream. This place isn't even in, like, you go through a portal in the Dragon Isles to get here, but it's not the Dragon Isles. It's a different place altogether. But she said, "How about Big Elephant, Shale Wing, and Lizard?" And they're all translucent green. So I was like, oh boy.
Okay, here's why.
It's a good thing that this resource is just casually got through like doing other stuff. Because, oh boy, do I love to get all these ground mounts I already have, but green.
No, that's exactly what it is. That's literally what it is. You have to already own the model. You must have a similar pet or mount with the same model for you to be able to infuse them. So if you want Snore, then you already got Snore's the intro pet. You already got it.
I would say, excuse me.
Snore's the one that she made Aaron buy twice, right?
Yeah, not only do I have Snore, she wants me to get Snore again.
So if you want the Dreamborn Scarab, Wildhead says, likely requires one of the following pets unlocked to purchase: Rango, Endmite, or Polly, because it has to have the same model. So they link a bunch of these pets that have the same model, and the mounts are the same. So Aaron, if you want the Imagine-Wing, you must have some form of Shale Wing, which you have them all pretty much by this point, right?
I was about to say, are you a haha goofer? I have 6 of them.
And there are exactly 6 models Wildhead lists. There you go. Which is weird. I mean, like, at what point is it's just a green version, right? Like, it's
like, and I'm never like lazy, like, boo, developers, what are you doing? But like,
what are you doing?
It's well, but
they're just translucent green filters on.
But like, she's also not lying about it. That's literally what she said. She says we are going to infuse them with the dream, which is, I guess, green.
I guess she just what holiday is it where you get that snack where you can feed to a pet and it turns them green?
I feel like all of them let you do that.
well, she saved up all of her Hollow's End secret snacks, and you can do that forever now.
She saved us a bunch of our Children's Weekday Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
Super weird. We haven't had anything like that before, where it's just like, bring me your pet, I'll turn it blue. It's like, okay.
So they do that with the capes already. Do we think that's going forward? Like, when it's the war within, we'll go to, like, Swole Lore, the kobold, and he was like, you have a pet you like? I can turn it red.
Come on, man. Let me turn it red.
It's like, okay, I guess. Here we go. Now he's red.
One more towards the mount count. I guess if I already got it, why not? Why not make it green?
Were there any other like blaring 10.2 things that we're missing right now? I mean,
this owl individual, they're pushing them. What is it, Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa, dude, Kwanzaa rules.
Kwanzaa, they're pushing them in a major way. What are we supposed to think about Kwanzaa?
I like Kwanzaa. I think they're a good new addition. We need some new blood around town. We've been dealing with the same old hags for a while.
So you druids, you know more of druidism. This is not supposed to be someone we know, and then
Kwanzaa's new.
They keep being like, Kwanzaa calls himself a Loa, but so this isn't someone the Horde knows either. So,
oh, but like in one of the early quests, Aaron, did you pop when you saw basically your actual father?
Okay, so not only did I pop, Cubby Bub was playing Yakuza, and I said, pause your game. And then she said, what? I'm in a cutscene. I said, I'll wait. And then I said, okay, pause your game now. And then I spun her around. I was like, that's my dad. I was like, I've only ever hung out with pictures of my dad. That's actual Goldrin, like in the fur. And she goes, wow. And I go, that's the reason Worgen are a thing, because of this guy, and he's real. He's in front of me now.
You are my dad. You're my dad. Wookie, wookie, wookie.
This guy had a little snack on someone, and then that's why Growlina exists.
Just
exactly. He said, you night elves, you guys can look like me, I guess. And then they took it too far, and he goes, ooh.
Yeah, I hang out with him pretty much, all the time. So I'm just saying.
You've seen like IRL actual fur Goldrin?
Yeah, he was at my house last weekend.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Taking care of your cats while you were gone at BlizzCon?
Yeah. But it's funny. Wait, because you asked why we haven't seen Kwanzaa, basically, right? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of lip service given to Kwanzaa right now, whether we're supposed to find them so quirky and haha funny, or if it's like so mysterious, because even like the wild gods don't know who Kwanzaa is. So like, did I just miss the boat on Kwanzaa? Is this our first Kwanzaa mentioning?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's also a chat option with Kwanzaa with the quest you did that's like literally says, so you're a Loa. Why haven't I heard of you before? Like, it's literally a thing you can say to Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa says, like, that's pretty much all they say.
Yeah, I was like, because I remember talking, I did all the dialogue with Kwanzaa, but they were just being an asshole. So I was like, whatever, I don't care about you. So I was waiting for you to give me some extra bit, but no, they're just a mysterious butthole. Well, and also they ate fire, so are they the mythic mount?
Oh, maybe. But, like, correct me if I'm wrong, though, but didn't we establish at some point, I don't remember when, that, like, Loa exists just because they decide to try to be Loa and then, like, recruit followers?
There's basically, like, a Loa for every... It's kind of like, okay, you know how people try to get into the Guinness Book of World Records? It's basically that with Loa. It's like, I'm going to be the Loa of laundromats. And it's like, do we have one of those? And it's like, no. Do we need one? I don't know. Prove it. And then they are the Loa laundromats. So Kwanzaa's the Loa of change, and they are, just kind of watching the Druids of Flame do what they do because they're like, change is good. We like change. Aaron, you should like Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is okay with the Murder becoming corrupted and burning down. Like Like,
I did appreciate that. They're like, I'm the Loa of of Barack Obama, of change, whatever. And I was like, well, that's a very nuanced appearance. But also, I was riding too high after meeting Goldrin, so I was just like, I don't care who you are, Bird. My dad's over there.
You were legitimately starstruck.
I just did the fire quest, so that's where I'm at right now with Kwanzaa. I have more questing to do with Kwanzaa and with our sexiest NPC of the week, Aviana.
Woo!
Oh, we're so back, baby.
Nothing like a big, tall harpy to get off your day the right way.
I mean, I'm just going to be on the real. Aviana, she's got a birder face, as in her face is that of a bird. But everything below the neck lifts me up.
Hey, I'll kiss a parrot.
I mean, okay, so I do think you are underestimating. First off, she's sexy. But, like, okay, you could definitely use her feather ponytail that is upright in some way. I don't know. She could tickle you in some places, probably.
Yeah, a little feather tickling. I like that.
Why did I think you were gonna say we could fuck the base of the ponytail?
What?
Like how you can put like your fingers in the base of a girl's ponytail?
No!
Be like,
Oh, it feels like a butt.
Is that a thing? Wait a minute. Hold the
That
phone.
is- that
Hold
is-
the phone.
that
What are
is
you
a-
talk- What?
I never did it, but media
Has
in the
anybody?
world before me, Gen X media, claimed that was a schoolyard tactic.
No
sort of like
way.
the hand one thing, hand the other thing. Open your hand. It looks like a vajingo
What?
thing.
What school are you
I-
going to?
It never happened here, but Gen X media that trickled down to me made it seem like it was a thing. And I guess that's what Immune was implying, was that you can do that on Aviana's feather hair.
That's not what I was implying. I just want to be very clear about this. But like, I decided to go with the tickle play, but at first I was like, okay, that's very phallic. Maybe we could sit on it somehow. But like, and I realized it was a feather, and I was like, okay, that I don't think that would really do much in my asshole.
I'm really glad we're walking through the jokes. So funny, because a feather would just tickle your hole.
But okay, in general, is this like a severely updated model though?
Not that I know
I'm
of.
trying to
But also,
remember.
I haven't spent a lot of time looking at Aviana. The only time I've ever seen her was when I went back to do old Kata questing. And then other than that, she's just been adjacent.
I know we saw her in Legion, but have we seen her since? I think we have, but very briefly. So I cannot confirm if she's updated or not. I'm gonna say yes, 'cause she's hot as fuck.
Also, like, I want what she's wearing as Mog. Honestly, it's sorry, I was stunned for a second just because of how sexy it is.
I was gonna say, you probably looking at those beast feet and thinking, damn, I want some big chunky gold anklets for my Draenei.
I mean, yeah, I already have beast feet on all of my characters, so like, if they give us just like, most of the time they just don't even try. They're like, you don't get shoes of any kind, Aaron. I'm sure you can relate. So like, give us some like anklet bedazzlement. Like, give us gold rings we can put
please.
on our ankles. Like, that's something. And it's working for Miss Aviana here.
Damn. I'm just sorry. I'm just stunned looking at that little silver leaf she's got covering her boobas, one for each.
That is definitely a choice. Do you think that was like a thing, like she was too distracting at the Wild Gods picnic? Then they were like, Aviana, you gotta throw some hydro leaves on there. Because you know this girl's nasty. You know she was just out and about, flaps flapping in the wind.
Flaps flapping, you know. But okay. I believe I'm the only one that hasn't quested with this new Loa or like Aviana yet, so if y'all boys don't mind, I can do the honor of delivering Miss Aviana with her trophy for sexiest NPC of the week when I see her later tonight.
Why did I think you were gonna call her Aviana?
Aviana.
My girl Aviana. Aviana.
I don't know. For some reason, these White Claws are hitting right now. I don't know.
Oh shit, we got White Claws? I forgot.
Well, thank goodness we still have at least X amount of time when we record our Patreon episode for this week. Catch that at patreon.com/do-not-relent.
Hell yeah. But before we move towards the end of this episode, there is one thing I want to talk about here. I want to say, okay, so I've been having a little bit of a midlife crisis in our WoW career because, as the listeners know, we are Draenor darlings. We started at the tail end of Warlords of Draenor, and for the longest time, that meant that we were, substantially newer than a lot of players, but now we are not because, as the years go on, we've heard people who have, started in BFA or started in Shadowlands or, started in Dragonflight now. So I was thinking that, very easily we just got Pathfinder in this new zone, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm starting to put down here?
If you, by the way, audience, if you were up to date on everything, you just need to fly to 6 load zones in Emerald Dream, and you're pathfinding now.
Yeah, and I bring this up because now we are officially old heads because our time in Draenor was the first Pathfinder that was ever introduced, right? And it was a big controversial deal that they even introduced flying at that point at all.
I remember boycotting it. I still don't have Draenor Pathfinding.
What?
And so it was a big deal when they added it, and they made you put in the work. These were not easy. At first, the Draenor one, I believe even in Legion, it wasn't necessarily easy, was it?
No. It people complained and kicked their little feet in the air and cried about having to earn the ability to fly. I still stand by the Warlords one is fine. Just if you were playing, you had nothing but time.
So that's the thing. So we are officially old heads now because we've seen it go full circle and back again, and maybe around another time because we saw people get mad at Draenor Pathfinding being introduced. We saw people be mad at it continually being introduced, and we've seen people be mad at how it's continually gotten easier and easier to the point now that this is by far the easiest one. I didn't even think about it. I legitimately was not even thinking about it. I was just flying around getting all my dragon riding glyphs, and then it had just happened. And I was like, oh, right, that was a thing.
I hate it, kind of, but I'm glad I have it. But I don't know, I feel I would have had it anyway if I knew it was a thing. You say old heads, and I get what you mean, but it's almost like we're medium heads. Medium young old heads, because this it was done for the actual old heads who cannot play the game any longer and complain that they don't have the time to put into an MMO that they first invested in when they were young, and now they become the people that they would make fun of 15 years ago, right? 20 years ago at this point? Jesus. So it's just funny that now the WoW has to kind of cater to people, the boomers, because the boomers are who are playing the game through and through. They've aged out of Pathfinder completely. They can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because I was just thinking about it earlier today. I was like, oh, this is interesting because we are we're Draenor darlings, but we're also the Pathfinder kids, I guess.
I wonder what else was introduced with WoD that's still
Mission
around.
table. Well, never mind. That died. I thought you were just going to say other stuff we grew up with.
I mean, still, Mission Tables is one, and that's one that I am glad is gone. I just felt I hated having to dedicate 35 minutes to being chained to my table to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. And then when that Shadowlands had that auto shit come out,
Shadowlands. I don't think that Mission Tables was a dead system. It was just a boring one. But Shadowlands made sure to put in everyone's head, Mission Tables were always like this. They always stunk by just being so bad.
We ate good at those Warlords Mission Tables. They gave us some good shit. Mounts, toys, heirlooms for your account wide. They don't do, because that's all they had left to do for the game, but they don't do rewards like that anymore.
Also, we got rich off of those. Legitimately, I think I have, generational wealth from those mission tables still.
You and, what's the name of our Draenor Darling author?
You talking about my girl, Courtney Alameda?
Oh, I just pulled up my audiobook, too. I just got to it. Yes, Courtney Alameda. And, I just want to say though, like, we will talk about this. We'll do a deep dive of like talking about this book, but like Miss Courtney, as a fellow Draenor darling, she knows what we want. Like, it just is very interesting having like a WOD person write a book. I feel like we have a kinship with her, and she like understands what we need in a book for some reason.
We got to get her on the show.
And yet I missed the 5 times you could meet her at BlizzCon. Sorry, Courtney, I didn't want
She
you to
was
sign
at
my
BlizzCon?
phone. She was, and her and Christy were trading off the Arthur's table like every other
Are you
hour.
kidding me? I didn't even... You knew this?
I did. We walked by it a couple times, and I was just like, I only have the audiobook. I have nothing for her to sign.
You can buy a book and sign it there. I bought a copy of War of the Orc Clans for Christy to sign.
That's true, and I do need a physical edition of War of the Skillborn.
Oh,
Absolutely goofed it, and she was there like a lot, too.
I honestly never even thought to check who was at the signing tables because I'm like, I have Christy's signature. I love her, but like, I don't know. I don't feel compelled to stand in line and meet her again. And then whoever else was there, I don't know. Damn it.
Richard Knack was at the StarCraft panel that was taking place in the Hilton parking lot.
The Knack attack.
Aaron spreading his rumors again.
Richie Knack was over there trying to get better rates for hotel workers.
I will say, though, back to the Pathfinder fight thing, I do like that now I could normal fly. Like, dragon riding is still really good for crossing long distances, but, like, doing, like, quick things as a druid again, being able to pop in the travel form, it just feels awesome to be able to see all of my mounts again, basically.
Yeah, the only complaint I have is that, like, for the longest time, I've had a macro where it would summon a dragon riding mount where I was able to do that, a normal flying mount where I was unable to dragon ride, and then I had like an alternate keybind on it that summons like my yak, so that I could like sell things or do T-Mog if I need to as well. So now I'm like, now I need to think about how to like rebind this macro. This is like the smallest problem ever. I'll fix it like later today. But like I was like, oh, minor inconvenience.
My world is uplifted. All right, I guess now we can go into our top 2, bottom boot, medium mood. It's about that time. I didn't think we were going to talk this long about it, but let's do it. Aaron, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to have to give myself a top toot this week. Wow, very enthusiastic. My top... You know what I was thinking of the other day? It's been a while since we had a Heroes Call board, so I've just
Heroes Call board!
People don't even know what that... People don't even know what that... Anyways...
That's for all the classic fans. Tee-hee.
And it's going to be that the 10.2 leveling set for cloth looks really, really good.
Yo.
And specifically, so you get the quest set, which is green, which I get leaves. But the pick 'em up set, like the second easiest to get, is like bright, like yellow and orange. This shit looks great for a fire mage.
Like the 2 sets that we get, like one is like fresh leaves and one is like fall colors, and I'm like, okay, is this the first time that we've ever gotten like 2 really nice sets basically just from like effectively leveling in a zone?
Well, I think it just has to be with coloration, because leaves are cool and then fall leaves are cool. Like the leveling gear for base Dragonflight was like, it can be blue and then it can be cream. I didn't particularly care for those colors, but I guess blue cream heads, Superman ice cream heads out there were like,
Oh boy, I love this.
but it's great. I'm excited to collect all the bits and bops. I already have a fair bit of the orange set, but all I need are those shoulders. Fingers crossed.
Come on, Schuldies.
Come on, shoulders. Immunization, what is your TT BBMM?
Okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of a cop out and say that I have a top 2.
2-2.
And you know, it's that we finally have like new content again. I feel like I don't know, but like maybe it's a medium move because like I want raid and I want dungeons, but like I have been thoroughly enjoying this new zone. There's just so much about it that like it's just visually stunning to me. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there are parts of the zone where there's water and like really stunning trees above the water. I mean, because there's trees everywhere, but like, you know what I mean? That like the water effects, you can see like the reflection of literally everything above it on the water. And I'm like, oh, this is really pretty. So I've just literally, as I said earlier in the show, just found myself just distracted far more than I ever have in any other zone. Just that like how pretty the zone is. I've also been high a decent amount of the time, so maybe that helps too. But
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things in the zones. There's lots of chests that give you really big rep chunks everywhere. I don't know. I think there's something about the zone that they're trying to like make you want to explore it a little more. Take a peek, look around.
But yeah, I've been enjoying the new content. That's basically my top two. Slidewhistle, what do you got?
I got myself a big fat top toot.
Toot.
It's the fact that Heroes Callboard is back.
Heroes Callboard. Oh, were you on the boards? Were you getting people's impressions?
Yeah. But my actual top toot, I think it's more of a it's a what we call a multi toot. You know, you have a bunch of little toots that come out at once, and you make a big toot. The druid love is so fucking good right now. It's a buffet out here for me. I have spent so much of my time just collecting travel forms.
Oh yeah, and at the like hour mark here, listeners, like by the way, Mr. Slidewhistle is maining his feral druid again, so that's happening.
Although I will say, War of the Scaleborn is making me think about my evoker a lot more, because like my people are showing up all of a sudden. My scale commanders are there, and you can be a scale commander as an evoker in the hero talent tree, and that's awesome.
Oh, we never got back to BlizzCon shit. I want to talk about all that.
I know. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do we'll figure that out. But so the travel forms there's so fucking many, just druid forms in general. I keep saying travel forms, but there's just like the Moonkin change is insane. It makes me want to play Moonkin. My hang up on Moonkin was that you're an ugly ass fucking owl. Why would you play one of those ugly owls? Now you can change everything about the Moonkin. The colors, the beaks, the feathers, the stupid necklaces they wear. You can take them all off. They have body auras. Like 6 auras that emanate light from them. Why can't Pharaoh have this shit? But I can live vicariously by going to Boomkin form and being like, hey, I'm Boomkin. Add me to your group. And then like we don't even have all the forms yet. There's still like forms that come off of like the fucking rares or the world bosses, the raid. It's great. I love it. And then I feel like my other two is how easy gear is to get. I don't care what eye level you are, you should be out here doing these events, doing the weekly, doing the super bloom, because you get like 450 gear.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say at some point too, but we never got around to it, that like even on like my priest and my hunter are both like pretty geared. They're like low 440s, like pretty kitted out, and there were some pieces that dropped where I'm like, I could upgrade this a few times and then like it would be almost better than what I'm wearing.
This is the weekend. If you have an alt that you've wanted to try in a main raid or in dungeons, and you're like, well, my main's kitted out, like how Aaron basically is just like, well, I don't know what to do right now because I don't have the real shit the next week, right? But if you have an alt that you've wanted to try, this is the week to do it. You have, 3 days when this comes out? And just get some gear. It's super easy. Please, get some gear.
Please get some gear. Speaking of gear, let's shift gears to our Patreon call-out session. We're talking about our $5 a month patrons. They include Command Sergeant Major Tajurla, fourth host of the podcast, Monkey, Ahoy, Vince, Instinct/Drag Race, Azarin, Digital Dave, Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child, Crucifix, Saracen Hawk, new patron!
No, patron!
Kick Puncher! Kick Punch!
Oh, fuck, that's Bill. Fuck you, Bill.
Yeah, it's Bill.
Fuck
Bill's not even going to listen to this. He subbed to listen to himself on the bonus episode, but he only gave us $1. Which we do appreciate, but you need to do $5 to listen to the episode, Bill.
That's my friend.
Yeah, that's I know him.
I'm
Skyline
telling
chili,
people.
weed.
He would love if that was the two things you said about him.
Jerome, Satious and Soup, Gerlerner, the 5G zombie, formerly known as Adorno. Rhapsody, the Rubik's Master, Gershom, Big Papa Crispy's Big Mama, Calcus, can't wait to kick Kodak to the curb. Wooly, Slidewhistle's secret stalker, tee-hee-hee-hee. Muv, Adaman, Ickes, Vanderlyle, Slidewhistle says,
Heroes call. Fuck Craig board.
and Will, a.k.a. Tire, Trade Chat's fallen father.
We're leaving. We're walking off these doors. You ain't ever gonna see us again until next week.
Well, we're walking out these doors and walking into, like, the doors on the other side of the hall to record our bonus Patreon episode.
Ooh, it's a lot like BlizzCon when you left Overwatch to go to Overwatch.
Patreon.com/do not relent. If you have any questions, you want to email us, send on over to do not relentpod@gmail.com. Email me personally at navaracoffin@gmail.com. Willing to accept all current tattoo artists in my whims. What about you guys?
Well, you can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at thebigacheesy on twitter.com. And as far as the show, go to linktr.ee/do not relent for all of our social media links. We got Blue Skies, we got Twitters, we got my Twitch, we got everything in there. linktr.ee/do not relent. Go there now.
To those who love to play WoW, we salute you. Hoo-yah!
That was so fucking dramatic.
And remember,
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.